Hey everybody, clearing. Okay, so let's get a baseline reading today and see where the twins are at. So thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through. What can we see for Divine Feminines on the left, Divine Masculines on the right, and the connective energy for the twins? Shuffle one more time. When I was splitting the deck, it was messy, and I never like it to be. That means there are changes in real time. I just saw the foundations towards a new beginning as I was shuffling, so that could be why. Also, ooh. Okay. So in the connection space, we do have unconditional love. We also have burden, getting ready for the passionate new beginning. Sage of Crystals is the Queen of Pentacles. So this is like living together, nurture, missing the love. And we also have the Four of Orbs and Eight of Cups. Both of these talk about moving on from third party. So Eight of Cups is notoriously walking away from something to go and find more happiness, and Four of Swords is sitting on this truth after having sorted out the heartache. So there's a couple of third-party situation nods here in the connection space. There's unconditional love, so I'm getting this patience and the love worth waiting for, and this new beginning coming as both of the twins sort this out. There are masculines in these depictions though, and so it very well could be that the divine masculines in particular are removing themselves emotionally from situations and then coming to new truths. Divine feminines have the shadow. This is the devil. So this, it's the interconnectedness, the sight unseen. In this card, there's a spider web talking about the web of connection. I'm really getting for you, divine feminines, that this is a bit of a quiet period where you're not able to have the facts. And so just drop in. I'm going to pull a clarifier for that. What deck can we get? So what else can we see on the shadow? Yeah, more energetic. Eight of Wands. So I'm hearing trust the love, divine feminines. All of these discerning moments, sight unseen, are supporting you spiritually, energetically, to come to unconditional love, because you're having to give the benefit of the doubt, not take things personally, be okay on your own, navigate without codependency. It's all really good stuff, but it feels like it's as far as it could be in the 3D right now. For the divine masculines, we do have the Seeker of Orbs, which is internet spying, checking in with you, with friends. This, for some, if you live close, could be driving by your work or your house, that kind of a thing. It doesn't feel creepy, but it does feel like there is some sense of really just wanting to know what's going on. And then we have divine justice and reflection. So divine masculines, I'm really getting this motion of walking away from things that actually don't serve. So Three of Cups is, again, third party energy. Could be multiple parties. The divine masculines could be either walking away from third party situations or multiple partners, and healing after heartache. So it's like something impressed upon the divine masculines that it is not beneficial to spread the energy too thin. They saw some, I'm hearing death energy, dead end street, brick wall, that certain behaviors or ways of being resulted in a letdown emotionally, that it was just a hamster wheel energy. So they are really looking for a higher level of justice, cosmic scale, and destined path. The Hermit is all about alignment, loyalty, and following the North Star, the true north, authenticity, going in the direction of their true path. So it's like these divine detours. We're still getting, I would say this year, we've had a lot of messages about the coyote energy, divine detours, necessary learning, comparing and contrasting energy. And now it's coming back into this level of alignment and desiring righteousness, smooth sailing, studying, trying to figure out how to get that. I do get the sense that they're looking to your energy to see where you're at with it, divine feminine. And then in the near future, we do have surrendering, going towards progress. Metatron's seal here. This dolphin is swimming towards a better template, and we've got this surrender. So both twins are continuing to let go on a new level of all the things that no longer serve and that pull towards progress. Let's get a clarifier. What does this progress entail for the masculine? The moon in the reverse, secrets coming to light. So subconscious drivers, you know, sometimes divine masculines, you're impulsive. You do things that are based on lust or sexual attraction. It is a big deal. Maybe not doing the healing and going towards feel-good situations. But there seems to be a deeper level of your own inner motivation that's come to light. The disintegration I'm feeling, just all things unhealed, and impulsivity I just keep getting here. So progress is to see that stuff clearly and to truly be masterful, not, you know, just doing whatever you want, but understanding why some of the things that are crutches, why you go towards coping methods and various things. I'm even hearing alcohol, substances, codependency. So yeah, I'm just getting that energy of doing whatever you want is not mastery. Like allowing yourself to just be the man and do whatever you want is not mastery. Mastery is understanding why all things are permissible, but not all things are beneficial. So that's the progress, the deep subconscious stuff that's coming up for divine masculines. And divine feminines, what does this progress look like for divine feminines? We did get this. So the Five of Wands and the Seven of Cups, continuing to let go of karmic thoughts, specifically with the shadow and the energetic discernment. We've got this Five of Wands, which is, you know, petty ways of looking at things and interpreting things. It's one thing to observe what someone is doing and spin it that it could be taken personally by you, divine feminine, but there is a more mature and more energetic way of looking at this. Not only can you say, this doesn't sit right with me, but you can also say that's not a match and just simply drop the energy. You don't have to fight for a victory in situations that don't seem to be in your favor. You can turn that switch off and not take it personally and just simply know yourself and be in your Empress energy to say that is not working for me, but I don't have to have hard feelings. It's just keep it over there then, if you're not either aware of how you're affecting me or that your actions are not as high vibe as mine. So this isn't competitive in that you're looking for an eye for an eye energy or looking for reasons to put up a guard and criticize. This is observing the path of love. The Seven of Cups is the confusion, the myriad of energies that swirl in the reverse. You're seeing the love through it. So the loving path through it is not to be in conflict because someone has done something that you don't prefer. Again, we're not talking about abusive situations. I do want to say that if you're in an abusive situation, get out of there. Seriously. For one watching, call the police, you know, remove yourself. That's not a twin flame journey. I just want to say that's not for everyone. But when it's just somebody living their life and they're not aligning with your preferences, Divine Feminine, they don't want to be in relationship, they're not being honest, they're not communicating how they're feeling, all of that, that's not a match for you. So don't take it personally. Tell yourself that is no match for you, and you don't have to force it. You don't have to convince. You don't have to fight for it. You can just drop it and truly understand your worth. So Divine Feminines, that's progress, where you won't settle for that. And it's sort of, you know, it's their loss kind of energy, but you don't even have to look at it as their loss. It's incompatible. Energy is energy. Either it's a fit or not. And you don't want any situations, Divine Feminine, that are not going to be a true fit. That's what I see here. It's the path of love through it, so you no longer take it personally. Okay, let's get into, this is a little bit of an interesting one. I want to see what the divine counterparts would say to each other. So let's see what the divine masculines are not saying to the divine feminines. Is there anything, divine masculines, that you would like to express but you've been afraid of? And Daughter of Cups again. That is the same card here that we got for surrendering. So divine masculines are saying, I'm going to get more clarifiers. I'm going to get one more. But they are saying that they want to surrender to this. Perhaps it's not a love that they have ever been accustomed to. It doesn't seem to change with time. Like they can't let it go. It just keeps being fantastic in the 5D, I heard. What else, divine masculines? I just heard I love you. So if you're confused, divine feminines, yeah, and this burden. So this is the second time we've got this burden card as well. So divine masculines are still burdened by spiritual things, I'm getting here, and not able to ground this love. They're not able to believe that it can be real yet. Remember, these are spiritual journeys of faith, and we have the emotional and spiritual cards here. This is karmic burden, and so until, divine masculines, you put down the struggle, the hardship, choosing things that result in things you have to clean up, you know, thinking something's a good idea and then getting in over your head. That's the 10 of Wands. So keeping divine feminine in this energetic la-la land is one way of, I guess, the divine feminines experience this with breadcrumbing or feeling the magnetic pull but not feeling like it's going anywhere. That's this kind of an energetic state. It's nice because we're not getting this, it came out on the side, so it feels like it's in progress. So what would the divine feminines say to the divine masculines? Actually, you know what? Let's get one more layer for the divine masculines, because that seems honestly like the same old story. I just heard I'm a work in progress from the divine masculines, but it does seem like it's been the story of quite a long period of time. Let's see how the divine masculines would speak directly to the divine feminines about this karmic burden that they're cleaning up and the love they have in the 5D and what it feels like to be in between that. What is it, divine masculines, that you would say? Definitely Tower, and this love scares me in the reverse. So these are both in the reverse. In progress. There's something changing. So it's direct proportion. The Tower removes the energy that needs to go for this love to come in, and this love is becoming less scary. It's the growth curve here. We're seeing the growth curve, the things that need to end and the appreciation of the love coming in as the things that need to end are ending. The reason they're ending is because there's growth and spiritual progression, and that also is the common denominator with the love not being as scary. So we are seeing the spiritual growth, the changing over. And then we also have I lost everything and I can't even look at you right now. This one's in the reverse. So divine masculines are feeling the crunch. They are feeling, I just heard insecure about the way things were falling away, and the new starting to feel like they don't want to lose you too, divine feminine. It's like they're trying very hard to get through the burden. I just heard, I have had no one to show me this. I'm having to learn it on the fly, on my own. So divine masculines, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay. And if you're watching this reading, you are asking for assistance for sure. Let's see, where's my Starseed Oracles? There. Let's get you an energetic support, divine masculines, because this does feel kind of like the I'm too small for this. Pleiadian Stargate, freedom, sensitivity, beauty, and sensuality. So divine masculines, just know that this is how you win your freedom. It is the spiritual, energetic understanding that allows you to have freedom no matter if you're in relationship, not in relationship. This is the autonomy and the spiritual sovereignty that you can come into when you stop engaging in things that are dead ends and start aligning with the aliveness. That is true freedom, and it can be harnessed and experienced in every situation, but it is I'm hearing micro increment choice point in every little thought you have, every little motion you make in a day. It's an alignment thing. So you're coming down to calibrating that you're good wherever you are in every situation, because you've got this life affirming alignment under the surface. So you're getting there, divine masculines. Okay, what would the divine feminines want to say to the divine masculines? What can we see from the divine feminines to the divine masculines? We got the well. This is a card in this deck that comes after the world. This is where the wellspring of aliveness. This is the fountain of youth. This is the inspiration that bubbles up. Water represents emotions. So this is also the unlimited. It can be somewhat like the Holy Spirit, even, where there's always provision in every moment. The thirst is quenched, and now it's just a magical thing, is what I'm hearing. What else would the divine feminines say? Let's get one more for that. How are the divine feminines wanting to convey this message of the living waters? What can we see further? Oh, the new beginning. So divine feminines are, I heard the siren call, are beckoning you, divine masculines, towards this new beginning. It's like there's anticipation here. Divine feminines are poised, waiting to see if you're going to align with this living water and be able to commune with them over this layer of life that is a little bit more magical and alive and not so competitive, or I heard condescending, or binding, limiting. So they are expressing to you, divine masculines, that they have attuned to this aliveness, the living waters, and they can feel you on this potential of letting go of the soul burden and stepping into this potential. The Ace of Coins is a major offer, but it's in the reverse here. So it's like divine feminines aren't sure if you're going to choose life. Ooh, interesting. Let's see what the divine feminines would say to you, divine masculines. Oh, goodness. I am not a jealous person came out in the reverse, and let me have you. So this one did come out first. So let me have you is not a jealous statement I'm getting. this is a celebration. So, and the 7, the divine level of completion. So when you both align on this freeing, open, alive frequency, divine masculine, your divine feminine just wants you in their life to celebrate with. It's like, let me have you in my life and let's see where it flows. Let's begin. Can we begin, divine masculine? And then there's also this, I'm a very jealous person in the reverse. So divine masculines, this landed right on your card of freedom. I want to say again that jealousy is a descriptor for the disconnect between two people. If there is no disconnect and people are equally yoked and mutually desiring a relationship, there is no energetic gap that can be interpreted as jealousy. Within the divine feminines, further, they are saying to you, divine masculines, that they are not jealous, they are not controlling, they are not binding, they do not want to convince you or sell themselves or fight for this if you don't want them. They just are not game players. They're not going to make drama. They don't want to experience competition over you. They do not want to play those games. They don't want you to bring those games to the table. They don't want you to think they will create those games. When things are energetically matched, the divine feminines know that when two people mutually want each other, there is no jealousy. And I'm truly feeling the divine feminine saying, unless you bring secret distance, secret desire for others to the table, your divine feminine is not a naturally jealous person. It's based on your energy. This fell right over to you, and this freedom. If you hold portions of yourself away or fantasize about others and are secretive about any of your affiliations, your divine feminine will feel that energy and talk about it. Your divine feminine's not going to be quiet about that, but they are not jealous. It is not a possessive thing, and it's not a limiting of your freedom, is what the divine feminines are saying. Interesting. Okay, let's get into a divine counterpart reading. I'm just going to quickly use some of these decks again and shuffle them. Shuffle them all up. I did post a few more reading spots, everybody. So if you haven't noticed that, I forgot to announce it the other day. I think there's a couple, and I will be putting more up through to the Christmas holiday or that time of year and up to the solstice as well, but it's just not live yet. So don't worry, I will keep opening up spots as we get about 2 weeks out from other things. Okay, so shuffling. Thank you, Divine Creator. What can we see for the divine counterparts? What are each thinking, feeling, wishing? What actions are being taken on the heart space? How are they all feeling for each other? What's the biggest challenge? What is the spirit-guided solution for that challenge? And where are the energies going in the near future? 4 decks to shuffle. What are the divine masculines thinking about the connection at this time? What are they feeling on the heart space? What are you truly feeling, divine masculines? What do you want in this situation at this time? What actions are you taking that would allow for that? What is your biggest challenge? What is the solution, and where is the energy going? Okay, let's get this. Divine masculines on the conscious mind. The Hierophant and the Ten of Cups, both in the reverse. So this is Magus of Eternal Gods. This is some more of that teeter-totter energy. We've got this possible lack of happiness, but it's also coming down off of wearing the mask, being unrealistically happy, pretending one is happy, being in a dreamland, kind of in their own world. I heard snapping out of it and rude awakening. So this is that aha moment we saw in the beginning where there's this spiritual evolution, that the rosy sunglasses are being taken off and a deepening of authentic fulfillment is coming in to replace happiness. It's now a little bit more of a grounded spirituality. So divine masculines, it's like the temperance. It's the tempering of your, it's maturity. There's this mature temperance coming in and a more grounded, practical look. This Hierophant in the reverse is anchoring this spiritual thing. It's no longer out there woo-woo. And same with the happiness. It's no longer fake happiness. There's this desire to bring spirituality into the daily life in a way that creates fulfillment rather than just happy or manic. Let's say manic. That is, I just heard the word exhaustion. So divine masculines, you've been going hard, I just heard, and it's become a bit much. Divine feminines on the mind space. Here's the devil again. We got the shadow and the free will. So divine feminines are still, you know, sight unseen. This is the 3D. So divine feminines are trying to see through all of this 3D stuff and choose their thoughts wisely. 5 of Swords is the card of the free will. Oftentimes it talks about shallow victories. So watch your mindset, divine feminines. Don't buy into the hype of the 3D and continue to tell yourself, if it's not showing up, if your divine masculine is not showing up in the 3D, it's not time, or they may not be for you. So live your life. You know what you're worth. Thrive in your life. That is mastery, when you can remove your conditionality and keep calm and carry on. If your divine masculine is working out these things over on their side, I see a ton of progress in the energy, so don't sweat it. Divine feminines, continue to unhook your thoughts from anything binding that makes it feel unfair to you and live your life. Let's get a Starseed Oracle card for that. Hydrogen atom, consciousness, beginning, and faith. This is like 0 point. So divine masculines are coming into 0 point with grounding spirituality and becoming less fluffy and more practical, just more real. They just don't want fake anymore, so they're beginning to ground it. And divine feminines, you're pulling your thoughts out of the ethers and not desiring to make stories up in your mind. So you're bringing it back to the, hey, wait a second, I have mastery over my thoughts. I don't have to focus on things that are not happy making. I just heard. And Orion, Stargate, power, authority, influence, and ambition. So this is the 0 point that these connections can come into, so that true direction of flow, the joint effort, can begin to be seen. Both have had to come into a certain level of readiness in order to truly meet on a fundamental level, a foundational level, so that the next cycle, expression can begin. So I'm hearing that there will be some new level of vision of what's possible, or what will be possible, when the healing and the unhooking from previous modes of being is achieved. So feminines unhooking from misguided intuition or obsessing over negative things, and divine masculines unhooking from obsessing over false happiness. Ooh, and those two That's an interesting mirroring, isn't it? The divine feminines being shown to be a little pessimistic, and the divine masculines unrealistically optimistic. So we see the different learning in at different stages, and right now there seems to be this mirroring that way. Okay, what are the divine masculines feeling on the heart space? Queen of Swords in the reverse and the Five of Cups. Queen of Swords is the cutting. They might be feeling like you are totally justified to tell them to never talk to you again. Let's say it that way. But they are feeling the love. They're seeing how you loved them through thick and thin. Divine feminine. Divine masculines, you're really seeing how your divine feminine could have walked away, cut you off, and how that would have made sense under the circumstance. Yeah. So there is it's a mixed bag, because it feels on one hand that there is a loss like never before. Divine masculines, you're feeling the loss, but at the same time you're also seeing this impossible love and how your divine feminine never walked away. You know, karmic situations are much more fickle and not as loyal as these twin divine feminines. You're very, very fortunate, divine masculine, to have someone who loves you this much, and you're starting to see it. What are the divine feminines feeling on the heart space? The Empress in the reverse and the Magician. Yeah, so the divine feminines, the Empress in the reverse is that last remaining energy that keeps coming up in today's reading about not taking things personally and just unhooking, then really getting it through your mind, heart, and soul that if somebody is not able to show up for you, that you don't need to take that personally, and you can be free from that, that it doesn't make sense. You're learning it doesn't make sense to want someone that's not wanting you, able to want you, able to put the work in, able to show up because of their developmental stage. Trust, divine feminines, that the energetic connection that the divine has illuminated to you with these connections with your masculine is real. But you don't need the person to prove anything, and the ultimate proof will be when your person comes forward with their whole glad heart. Not until then. You don't want it in a way that doesn't feel good until then. That is to say, being the Empress in the upright, you're working on it. The Magician here, you are truly working on it. But Empress in the upright is a thriving energy regardless of who wants to align with that. So you're getting there, divine feminines. This is still this beautiful sweeping energy that I'm feeling until, you know, the solstice, even into February of this coming year. There is still this anchoring, the visceral feeling of Empress energy. It's not just a theory, but the theory through meditation is grounding in you, just like true sense of purpose, fulfillment, and spiritual maturity is grounding in your masculine. Okay, let's get a connective energy. What can we see for the twins on the heart space? Golden potentiator, quickening, exponential expansion. Yeah, when two come together consciously, willfully, there is this expansion, and it does go fast. So if these connections haven't felt like they were progressing, if they've been in a gridlock, I heard, for years or whatnot, they will kick in when these things balance out. It takes the willingness from each party for it to be a splendid thing. I just heard. Okay, what are the divine masculines wishing? The Hanged Man and the Father of Cups. The Father of Cups is the King of Cups. First off, the swan is a union symbol. But the King of Cups doesn't overly express, or is kind of stingy with emotional expression. There's this, it's a given kind of energy, but it's not a lot of communication. The King of Cups has been through a lot, has really had life experiences that has caused deep empathy and the ability to know things, but there is an aloofness to this King of Cups. With the Hanged Man in the reverse, I'm feeling that the Divine Masculines are wishing to open this part of themselves up to you, Divine Feminine, because they've realized that they don't want to lose you. They don't want to give you the wrong idea for much longer. It's like they're right on the verge of understanding how important it truly is to say, I love you, to spend time with you. If they do feel this way, life is too short. I'm actually getting with that combination. It's like a realization that they have been withholding their love from the one person that deserves to share it. And Divine Feminines, we have enlightenment about reunion. So you're wishing to have reunion when your divine counterpart is ready. This is, the judgment is the revelation of the facts. It's sometimes called the karma card. So you've never been more aware and of your divine masculine's journey and plight, because you're not taking it personally, because you're seeing through that layer, because your eyes are opened, your ears are opened. You're no longer taking it personally that your divine counterpart hasn't been coming forward, and you're only wanting it to come, your divine counterpart to come forward for this reunion when they have seen the light, when they've left the karma. It's a very pure wish. Okay, and it's the card of second chances. So you are aligned with a second chance, but it's a very good second chance, Divine Feminine. Dimensional planes of perception number 8, simultaneity, nonlinear processing, and epiphany. So both are having epiphanies. The Divine Masculines realize who they should be sharing their love with. It's like this bolt of lightning. And the Divine Feminines are realizing that they don't actually need to settle for someone who isn't able to share the fullness of their love with them. And they're willing to wait for when that can be. Again, not necessarily waiting for the person indefinitely, or not, accessing other options, just that they don't want to force something to come in prematurely. Both twins are working on it and have never been more sure that they want the real thing with this counterpart. Okay, what is the biggest challenge for the masculines? 5 of Wands and Ace of Wands. 5 and 1 equals 6. These are both in the reverse. That would be the victory coming forward, gesturing, promising to the Divine Feminine. But right now it's uprooting, too many people being involved. The Ace of Wands is a sexual, sensual card. It's the most phallic card in the deck. So there seems to be some karmic sexual connections that are still lingering, that the Divine Masculines haven't fully let go, or are still growing through the process of how it makes sense to let them go or not. So for some who are in karmic partnerships, they might be on that edge of, most of the time they're feeling like it's not appropriate to continue going forward, but they still want to make sure, because Divine Masculines, you do your best. You are impeccable, and you are on this journey of mastery, and it is noble to want to make sure that you've exhausted all of the learning rabbit holes, and that you know for sure, because that is empowering. If you have doubts, if you have some doubt in your heart, that is always going to tie you to the past. So Divine Feminines watching, don't be afraid if your Divine Masculine is waffling between a way of life, a karmic partner, something like that. Your Divine Masculine is on the road to perfection and impeccability. And so if they are, you might think of it as tempted, but if they are still I heard do-si-do, dancing with karmic situations. It's because they're still getting those last gems of wisdom. And so they need to know this will empower them. And what the divine, if this is truly your twin, just surrender, divine feminines, any doubt, and divine masculines, surrender any doubt. Your eyes will be open, everyone. Your eyes will be open beyond a shadow of a doubt. I want to say again, these connections are pristine when they come together. We don't have the doubts. So yes, Godspeed. Keep your eyes open. Look for these higher level understandings within karmic situations. Seek out the truth. Be sure. Live them out fully. Have your wits about you and compare energies. Discern the contrast between the divine feminine and your karmic situations. Divine masculine. Really look at the fruits that they each produce. Look at the fruits, divine masculines. What is the Six of Cups and Six of Coins, both in the reverse? This is the card of fruiting. See, there's a branch and those pentacles are the fruits. It's in the reverse. So literally, look at the fruits. Look at the karmic situation not bearing fruits, and then look at the opportunity you have to come forward to your divine counterpart in this soulmate reunion. Lord of pleasure. You're holding back pleasure in the name of something that's not producing fruit, is what I'm hearing. So divine masculines, let that encourage you further to leave the old world and go towards pleasure and fruitfulness. You're at that tower and, what was it? The tower and happiness edge there, where you are getting up the gumption to leave the old life behind. What is divine feminine's biggest challenge? The moon and the King of Cups. All of the emotion, all of the inner workings. So your biggest challenge is allowing the subconscious secrets, the inner workings of things about why your divine masculine has withheld their love. It's a very deep dive right now in compassion, divine feminines, because you have the intuition to see the inner workings of things. Give your divine masculine that grace and let go. Just know that they are not coming forward to express this love to you because they've still got work to do. That is the only reason that somebody would not want to celebrate a love like this. Either they are afraid, they haven't healed, so they don't see something. Otherwise it would be a free flow, and it's not. So continue holding compassion and continue looking at it. If you're confused by that, divine feminines, ask the divine to show you deeper understanding of why someone wouldn't be coming forward when they have this much love. It's not to be taken personally. It's all about them. It's them, not you, divine feminines. What is the solution to that challenge? Queen of Swords, and healthy boundaries and decisiveness. Queen of Swords in the reverse. So your divine masculine has known that you have had every right to cut ties, to step back, to not take them back, to cut them free. But tell yourself that you are completely willing to do so until your divine counterpart comes forward correctly. And if it's too late, that really will be their loss. Again, for some of you, this is not your twin flame. Twin flames are very rare. Even if it's a soulmate, this connection is likely going to be coming back around. That's what connections do. They have cyclical learning. And so no matter what, if you have a soul connection with this person, twin flame or not, it's going to keep coming back around. So you, divine feminine, need to be sure about what is beneath your level of what you're willing to engage in and settle for. Many times, divine feminines, you have allowed things to come into your sphere that have not produced fruit either, because you've jumped into bed, you have said things you didn't mean, or not said enough, you haven't guided the connection or held a healthy boundary and gotten in too quickly, and then it's blown apart. So this is your chance, Divine Feminines, to really see things for what they are and to just be definitive with what you're willing to engage in. That in no shape or form means hardening your heart so that you tell yourself there is no pleasure and you go into suffering. That is the opposite of what I'm talking about. It's being in this high vibing energy, not falsely, but in such a frequency that you understand that only things that are fit are truly beneficial to include, that you don't have to settle, that you don't have to put up with faulty behavior or things that are less than. You don't have to just turn a blind eye and accept breadcrumbs or accept mediocre energy. You can desire the real thing. Have a reality check here, Divine Feminines, with what you're willing to put up with and what you're not. But that isn't something that you should put on your Divine Masculine. That's for you to, I heard dictate, but that, I mean, maybe we do need a severe word like that, but pull the power back into your court. It's not just your Divine Masculine wanting you or not wanting you. This is something that you need to be clear on, because you will be sending mixed signals to the universe if you're not clear on what you can thrive with or not regarding another person. Start with you, though. You have to be very, very good on your own so that you know your worth, and then get real. Don't tell yourself that a lack of communication or clarity, or that wanting your divine counterpart back and then hoping for the best is going to do. You want to be having really clear conversations. You want to know that your person has grown and desires you. And until that happens, that's all right. It's all right to see it for what it is and desire clarity, peace, foundation, truth, love, freedom, harmony. Get out of the energy of thinking, Divine Feminine, that it's always going to be the way that it has been, and really give yourself that reality check about what actual love would feel like if it were easy. Okay, connective energy. What can we see for the twins in the connection space here? Lunar progressor, emotional equilibrium, and compassionate non-attachment. Exactly. Balance yourself out, Divine Feminines, and don't desire to allow anything back in to your situation that throws your emotional equilibrium out. Don't pretend, Divine Feminines. Be you. And Galactic Council Crest, spiritual sovereignty, astral travel, and timelessness. These connections don't have an expiration date. When they are appropriate, they will engage in timeless ways. You'll pick up where you left off. But right now, this period of separation is to develop spiritual sovereignty in a non-attached way. I'm going to say it again. These are journeys of mastery. These are not 3D relationships. This is not dating advice, dudes and dudettes. This is not how to pick someone up. This is not a day game. Boo, hiss. This is divine love. I want to say again, these are spiritual relationships. The only way divine relationships can come in is if both people have spiritual sovereignty and they are in a high frequency where they understand spiritual connection on a very masterful level and are truly accountable for it. Seek your own heart. So for Divine Feminines, your accountability is knowing what you're worth and seeing energy in a way that you literally do not desire to engage in things that don't afford stable, long-term growth. You want someone for the long haul. You need to come into not desiring to put up with half-assed behavior or developmental stage. And divine masculines, look at the situations that you're comparing and contrasting with your divine feminine and really seek to see the proof of which one is good and right and true, which one is going to result in freedom and companionship and excitement without guilt and shame. Okay, and where are these connections going in the near future? The Son of Cups and the universe, the world. So yeah, dun da da da. This is like very, very good energy, divine masculines. They are embracing the love here. This could actually be a message of an appreciation, cycles coming to an end. So we did see that there is some karmic cleanup struggle, some frustration from the divine masculines that things are in between, real mindset work being done, but it does look like that's going to tie up in a nice bow here, and that there can be some communication. Oh, and then we have the twin flame union card for the feminines with the 8 of Swords. So I'm getting here that this message from your divine counterpart, this show of genuine, sincere affection, might give you mixed signals. So for divine masculines watching, yeah, you seem like you are going to communicate. Divine feminines, this might make you freak out a little bit. It might be totally new. You're maybe not used to or haven't had a message from your divine counterpart in a while like this, I'm getting. So it might throw you into your mind, and it might also prove to you that the union is more available than ever before. Take it as a time not to be too trigger happy, divine feminine, and pay attention to what's coming up for you when this happens. Work through the fear. Be emotionally transparent. It's good for you, divine feminine, to be triggered a little bit like that, because that means it's getting real, but you don't have to go into some sort of an accusational thing. What is the shared energy? Chamber of initiation, spiritual gifts, mystery, enchantment, and secrets. So there are secrets coming to light. There are going to be things. And this one stuck up out of the deck when I was putting it down. Gate of returning, entrance, death, rebirth, and passage. Here's the second chances. We had the moon energy, the judgment card coming through quite a bit. And so there is an initiation and a return. Divine masculines, it looks like you're going to come back in and share some things about what's been going on. Divine feminines, be ready by being practical and realistic about the progression of these things. You know, we're seeing reconnection energy here and needing to have a foundation that's truly impeccable. This is not jumping into something all willy-nilly. This is a legitimate second chance, a legitimate chance to create stability going forward. The initiation of that, the beginnings of a brand new cycle is what I'm seeing here. Okay, divine counterparts. Yep. Let's keep going. Here's one more for these union space energies. What can we see for the twins? Everyone watching. The staff. So this is talking about alignment. A 51 card. The staff is a symbol of authority. It holds the power to temper extremes. We are seeing that temperance energy with the masculines, and divine feminines, you are also being asked to temper the extremes. You know, you have done the work, I want to say, divine feminines, but this is your, this is the big, not finale, but show day, game day. This is game day. So this is where your divine masculine looks like they are going to be coming in, and you get to decide how much unrealistic expectation you want to heap on, or how present you want to be instead. It holds the power to temper extremes. The staff helps you to find the right course of action, the way of the middle, and aids you to maintain your balance after you begin walking in that direction. Moses carried a serpent staff through the desert, and with it he could summon the power of nature to heal or call plagues. The staff reminds you of the impermanence of all things, and that your authority must come from your deep longing to serve. Wow, we got that message a little while ago that what was it? That the masculines will only come into monogamy and one-on-one relationship. The true divine masculines that have the capacity to love this deeply will only give themselves in true monogamy when it serves a purpose, when there is a heart for service. And here we have it as well. Here it says that your authority must come from your deep longing to serve. So there must be a reason to connect in these relationships so deeply. There must be a heart of alignment that both parties are desiring to serve. And that is a greater mission. You know, we talk about the twin flame mission and this exponential love. When twin flames come together, the outpouring of love that their union creates in the world is a splendid contribution. It is next level. It's like a supernova of love because it's pure. It's not because it feels good and the sex is good and they're in a love bubble and they're all giddy and unrealistic and it's more heightened than any karmic pull or, you know, any other lovers. It's not about that. It's because of this foundational work that is a true stability structure and a true generation of innovation. And it's just something. It doesn't have the pettiness, it doesn't have the insecurity, it doesn't have those things, and so it creates a totally different energy. And I'm being told again, it's a very rare thing that's rarely ever seen, truly. Okay, you know how to flow easily between polarities, how to weigh all the possibilities and instinctively select the right path. Trust your inner wisdom and take the first step on a journey that your heart has already embarked on. Use the power of the staff to unite what appears to be divided, to find the delicate balance between will and surrender. Wow, this really is getting real. It feels like the divine masculines have up-leveled spiritually enough to understand the value of these connections from a deeper level than the temporary. And divine feminines, I'm going to say, you are also seeing the practical ways these connections differ from just some, you know, love interest or some hot person. Okay, many blessings. I love you all. Bye for now.